Hey guys, if you haven't been in the loop, I guess, but I'm sure most of you have, there is a court case going on with Karla Ortiz and a bunch of other artists where they're trying to fight against Stability AI for the copyright infringement of Stable Diffusion. Now, we're not going to go over the whole case, but basically, they had several things dismissed and they just kept, hitting something, and then being thrown away, which is basically breach of contract, unjust enrichment, violations of the Digital Millennial Act, blah 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 blah, right? Now this also implicated midjourney and DreamUp from DeviantArt. Well, let's talk about it. The judge concluded that they sufficiently alleged that Stable Diffusion is built off of copyrighted material and that the way that the product operates necessarily invokes copies or protected elements of those works, which is true. Now, what does this mean for these AI companies? He said that Stability and Runway could have promoted copyright infringement and that Stable Diffusion was created to facilitate that infringement by design. Now, I have been saying this for a long time, and one of the things that the court stressed was that Midjourney produced images similar to the artist's work when their names were used as prompts. And I know that AI bros are going to be like, but you can't copyright a style. Yes, but the artist's name is their brand. And you can't use something in the name of a brand. The artist is their brand, and if you're creating works based off that brand, saying that that's their works, using their name, you're infringing on their copyright because you're creating more of their brand without their consent. And on top of that, the judge said that he's going to advance all copyright infringement and trademark claims because he found that Stable Diffusion, Stability AI's tool, can create hyper-realistic images in response to a prompt of just a few words, and that may have been built on a significant amount of copyrighted works and created with the intent to facilitate more infringement. The artists can proceed on their copyright claims now, right? So this means that companies who utilize Stable Diffusion models and or the Lion, I don't know how to say it, datasets could now be able to be liable for copyright infringement violations and among other violations. Now, artists are invoking the Lanham Act, vicarious trade dress violation by profiting from imitations of protectable trade dress on behalf of Midjourney and all the other AI generators. Now, moving forward, this phase of discovery is going to be super crucial because it might uncover whether these models were trained on copyrighted works in a way that violates their copyright law or not, which we all know that it is. And this is the moment where they can actually build a stronger case by uncovering potentially damaging information against AI companies, which I really hope happens for them. I mean, they finally have something that sticks to the wall, and everyone was thinking, well, Stability and all these AI companies got crazy lawyers. Well, I don't know what kind of lawyers that Karla Ortiz has, but I'm glad for her. And I'm going to be always supporting another Puerto Rican artist. This is the critical moment that could set legal precedents on how AI technology interacts with copyright law, especially as it's rapidly moving while copyright law and protections for workers is being left behind. And I hope that this discovery phase will likely influence the outcome of the entire case and could lead to broader implications for artists and AI. And I'm hoping that it's still positive going forward. And I think that everyone needs to just, keep their ear to the ground and support her in any way that you can, even if it's not monetary. And that means not using AI or, being vehemently against it, because by using it, you are hurting her case. And I hope you know that. Now, I know some of you are going to use it regardless, but if you're trying to get artists' rights, then maybe you don't use it. Also, let's just look at the Twitter replies since then, because apparently she said people are going apeshit. So let's look at the apeshit. Alright, let's see what people are crying about. Disney after realizing they can copyright any art style they want. I don't want to play with you anymore. But these people are so dumb. They just don't understand what is actually being done here. It's not about the art style. It's not an art style, it's art brand. An artist is a brand, not a style. So dumb. Let's see what else. Oh my god. Holy fucking shit. People ride up over AI slop, are getting duped into destroying art forever by extending copyright law. They didn't even read it. They didn't even read it. They don't even understand. Oh my goodness. And look at it. Look at it. Filmmaker, author. Of course. Like, the thing is when I see this, I know these people are generating stuff, and I'm not impressed. Because they always talk about Disney and fan art when it has nothing to do with Disney or fan art. It has to do with putting out artwork that belongs to the artist by name. You can't take the Ross Draws brand, named by Ross Draws, put work that is Ross Draws, and then try to sell it because it is copyrighted by Ross Draws. You're competing with the artist specifically. And that's why artists' names should never be in AI. Because you come across this problem. Because these dummies don't really understand anything about art before they started typing away. And I also don't understand why so many AI bros are into corporate greed. They think that we're doing this on behalf of Disney for some reason, but most of the people hurt are independent artists and freelancers who just have a big name. So you're not hurting Disney, you're not hurting, whatever these other companies are. You're hurting the freelance artist who worked for them that you now know and like their art. So you're hurting that person. I just want to point out this person's post. 2 midjourney engineers once told me that art was ossified and used this to justify scraping people's artwork for training data. They said art had to stop progressing and that these models were going to be the future. This portrays, I think, not only the lack of respect for artists, but also a lack of understanding for art, which is true. Oh God, they're so envious. They're so, ooh man, I got a video coming out. You guys are gonna love. It's gonna be all about this stuff. All right, let's look at this a little bit more. These people a little bit more. Oh my God, this is gonna be like the case sampling that killed classic hip hop. Shut up, brah. Oh my God, it's this person. It's easy to see this as a win for artists, but this is a win for corporations and the wealthy. Expanding copyright law to include art styles would only hurt small artists and make it easier for big biz to step on them. Karla is hurting. No, he doesn't understand. It's not copywriting an art style. You can't copyright an art style. Oh my God. I found something here that's interesting. This is the thing that people are crying about. Well, the AI bros are crying about. Copyrighted art styles would be the immediate death of art as a concept, which, shut up. So this person clicks on this and it says, clarification. The ruling states that trade dress claims cannot be considered on their own, but in the context of AI copyright violations. The judge considered that copyrighted art style is overboard, that it's why it's only plausible with Gen AI. This person here is probably how a lot of people feel right here. I don't understand or may have missed the reasoning behind why art style is not trade dress outside of Gen AI context, but is trade dress within Gen AI context. It seems arbitrary and ill-defined to me, so I'm going to explain it to you real quick right now. Now, Gen AI models are trained on vast data sets, often scraping images and designs and other visual elements all over the internet without the original creator's permission. These datasets can include protected trade dress elements like distinct logos, color schemes, product designs, which are integral to the brand's identity. So for example, the way that Ross Draws, an example, does his pieces specifically. When an artist wants to be like Ross Draws, right? It's not going to be a one-for-one. It won't be. It will be different. And you won't be able to confuse a Ross Draws piece with a person who wants to be like Ross Draws. But with Gen AI, it takes all the elements of his work and makes it look exactly like his work, therefore competing directly against him for his own personal brand's space. This would be like if someone made another company that was named Misney and they had something that looked exactly like Mickey Mouse as the main character. And they said, this isn't copyright infringement. We just generated this and it just happened to look like it. But that's not the case because it has all of the elements that belong to specifically Disney. Disney would lose their shit. Now, because AI is not creating something truly original, when you use the name of an artist in your prompt. Find an artist that you really like, or train one and then use the name of that person and all their work to make it look like their work, confusing the original artist for the AI work. And I told you, I think a few months ago, I've seen so many prompts that I know are from Ross Draws in the prompt, that I saw Ross Draws had drawn a picture recently on DeviantArt, and I thought it was an AI generated piece because all the work that is trained to look like his looks like that. And that's the problem. So also, this little thing, if generative AI generates content that closely resembles the trade dress of a well-known brand, it could cause confusion among consumers who might mistake the AI generated content for the real thing. While I won't be confused, other people would be confused. This is less likely with human creators, who typically have more creative control and a better understanding of the nuances that differentiate one brand's identity from another. So, you know what? I'm going to go find 2 artists. Give me a second. All right, I found it. So we're going to look at this real quick. This person. This is Ross Draws' official account. This is his official artwork. Okay? I'm going to explain this on why this only is about Gen AI and not a human artist, and protecting his style. You see this. This is his character, Faye. Okay? We're going to look at another person who attempted to recreate this. Okay? A good artist in their own right. This person was tagged and is very inspired by Ross Draws and Sam Does Art. You can see just from looking at this person's stuff who they're inspired by. You can just tell. You don't even... Ross Draws. These are also Ross Draws. Sam Does Art. You can tell. Now look at this. This one here. This is a speed paint, right? They clearly know kind of what they're doing. They probably, took his course or something. But you can tell that this is not Ross Draws, right? So now we're going to go look up Ross Draws by generative AI. Okay, so let's look at this right now. You're telling me that this is not going to hurt his brand and people won't assume that these pictures belong to him, specifically belong to him, because it's taking the elements that belong specifically to Ross Draws and are being used in a specific way, because some people cannot tell the difference between AI and real art. So if someone sees a whole page like this, they're going to be able to see and be confused as who is the real artist here. Does this not look like Faye? From the side, even though it has all the stuff, it has the elements of his work in it, even if it's AI. It looks close enough to his brand, specifically his brand, and it was generated this way because of the way that AI works, where it recognizes a pattern and then it can recreate the pattern. And by recreating the pattern specifically, that's why it looks like this, okay? Because it needed his work to be able to do this. Okay, see this? And then look at that. This, that. When you go back and forth, real quick, without looking, it does look like his work. It's competing directly with his work. And if people are using that LoRa model or Stable Diffusion that looks like his stuff, that's what I'm talking about. That's why it's not about fan art. It's not about art styles. It's about imitating the artist specifically. And only AI can do that. A person cannot be a one-for-one. You're always going to find the thing that doesn't belong to the artist, whether it be anatomy issues or what's it called? What's that other person? Shishio, Sexy Robot Butts or whatever his name is. Those two, you can still tell the differences between their work, even though one is copying the other. And that's all I got for you today. So I'm going to be coming out with my Hazbin Hotel video this week, but I just didn't have time to edit it down and I didn't have time to finish it. So this was important to talk about first, and I'll have the Hazbin Hotel video up sometime this week. All right, see you next time, friends.